A YouTuber from France and several other social media influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers are claiming that a mysterious advertising agency offered them cold hard cash in exchange for making posts spreading disinformation about the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. I'm gonna get into all the details in just a moment, but first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we would really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. AP News first reporting that French YouTuber Leo Grasset was among the many contacted by this unknown company. The deal, he said, was framed as potentially lucrative but also very hush-hush. In exchange for cash, they had to make ridiculous claims about the Pfizer vaccine and were even told to suggest that it posed a deadly risk. In addition to that, they wanted these influencers to say that the media and scientists were trying to cover up these alleged dangers. Grasset, who currently has 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube, says that he outright refused their offer. When contacting him, a representative for this agency introduced himself as Anton and said that his agency had a large budget for what he described was a COVID-19 information campaign. Notably, it was about the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines being offered in Europe. Anton asked these influencers for a 45 to 60 second video on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube and say, the mortality rate of the Pfizer vaccine is 3 times greater than the AstraZeneca, and asking why the European Union is buying it, adding, this is a monopoly and is causing harm to public health. When pressed on who would be financing this disinformation campaign, Anton said that the client would prefer to remain incognito. Well, that's not sketchy at all, is it? This smear campaign even drew criticism from the French health minister Olivier Véran. In a statement, he said, it's pathetic, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible, and it doesn't work. The person who contacted Grasset did say that he worked for an advertising agency called Pfizer. I believe that's how it's pronounced at least. And when AP News investigated the company, they found that the website used to give a London address, but that had been wiped from the website recently. Even when they checked with the company's house where British firms are registered, they had no record of the supposed advertising agency. The worst part about this whole approach is just how incognito they wanted to remain about all of this. That to me right away is suspicious. Not only did they not want to be identified in the post by these influencers, you know how people usually put like hashtag ad, this secret agency instead wanted them to frame and present the material as if it was their own independent views. I mean, how sick is that? Other influencers said that they were told that they should talk about how the mainstream media ignores this theme and unique perspective that they have. And on top of that, they wanted them to continuously ask their audience why the government would be purchasing these vaccines. In all my days, I never thought it would come to this. Influencers being paid off to sow dissent with their local governments and spread mass disinformation during a public health crisis. They even offered a trainee doctor in southern France who had tens of thousands of followers more than 2,000 euros for a 30-second post just smearing the vaccines. And when speaking about his communications with this mysterious company, the French YouTuber Leo Grasset said that with the size of his following, he could have potentially earned tens of thousands of euros had he agreed. Luckily, he had some morals about him and wrote back, I can't work for a client that won't give its name and who asked me to hide the partnership. Later adding that there were simply too many red flags and so he decided to not do it. He goes on to tell AP News, they wanted me to talk about the Pfizer vaccine in a way that would be detrimental to the Pfizer vaccine reputation. And this really freaks me out though. I don't know about you, but I think this is just another big warning sign that we need to be extremely cautious with the information that we see online. Do not believe everything you see or hear at first glance. Always triple check. The internet can provide a vast wealth of good information if you know where to look. Grasset also went on to echo this and said, we creators on YouTube, on the internet, Instagram, etc., we are at the center of something going on like an information war. We as creators need to set our standards really high because it's, I think, just the beginning. I mean, when it comes to spreading information about anything to do with your health, I would hope that these standards would be at the highest possible level. You can't talk about that kind of stuff without providing an extensive amount of sources from your research. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled Top 10 Dumbest Tweets Chrissy Teigen Never Wanted You to See. And boy did we do our research on that one. Justin Graves says, entitled is an understatement for Chrissy. Yeah, she could have her own top 10 entitled list. Maybe we'll do that. Top 10 entitled Chrissy moments. Yeah, we'll see. Megan Danielle says, while some of these are bad, some of these are her being super sarcastic or making jokes. You were reaching on a few of these. Admittedly so, yes. But I had a job to do, and it got done. The Adventures of Rachel and Ava says, I'm so glad people are finally noticing how nasty she is and calling her out for it. Yeah, there was just so many tweets. Just so many tweets that I think the nastiness reputation just gets lost in the flow of it. But hey, we're here to point out the nasty ones. Austin Q says, ew, her trying to claim any credit for the song All of Me, yeah, goodbye. Yeah, that was a goodbye moment for me as well. Tanya Campbell says, she always talks about how she gets hate for everything she says or does, but now I realize it's just karma. I mean, kind of, right? Either way, guys, that has been today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube.